back up the charts in Finland from 25 to 16. So a cause for celebration. Bless those Finns.
Yeah, well, nobody does that. These days, everybody makes their debut, and then it's the slow plummet. But that's awesome to hear that, for sure.
Yeah, my record company, we're thrilled with the response that we've got, and and it has, as Billy Gibbons would say, it has legs and apparently knows how to use them.
Let me ask you a question. You said something interesting, and I think it's important to touch on this, because I've said this a lot of times. Here in America, Deep Purple, unfortunately, never quite had the reverence that the band has had throughout Europe. And you mentioned the fact that some people maybe didn't feel this is appropriate. And I read recently you got into it a little bit in the British press and things like that. So there was some...
one magazine was just absolutely rude, which they should be ashamed of themselves for, considering they're named after a music style that I was part of creating, So it wasn't across the board. It was minimal, and there's no place in my space for haters and regaters.
But what I loved about that, David, and I despite the bad review, the magazine Classic Rock, I am a fan of in general. But what I loved about that, because I saw the interview that you gave them, is I thought it was brilliant, because you went and sat right down with that writer and went right back at him toe for toe and made your case, and I thought that was great.
Well, it was really interesting to me that I said to the journalist, I said, look, do you need any more time? He says, no, 15, 20 minutes should be all I need. So that's when I knew it was going to be a character assassination and a backstabbing, and I'm done with them, I don't need them. Listen, we got the news today, London, Wembley sold out, huge. You kidding me? Yeah, I need classic rock.
Well, let me ask you this. For America, this stuff...
Oh, no, but go back to your other part of the question. Yeah, there is definitely, on some of the younger faces, like when we're performing, the tour's going great, by the way, couldn't be happier. But there are some ooh, I've never heard of that song. But you can see people buying into This Treated or You Keep On Moving as we go through it, But yeah, obviously, it's a kind of, these are the songs that your parents or your grandparents used to listen to,
Well, that's kind of my point, and that's where I was going for at least America, because, Burn, maybe to some degree Stormbringer, but I would think that for a large portion of the audience, and we'll talk about the live show, but when you play this stuff live, I would think that for some of these people, they're first being turned on to it.
This is, probably the first, I've been seeing a lot of tweets about people just going straight from the show and downloading it from iTunes. So, God bless them. It's a situation of this is what we do. And this is, the stuff out there. It's our salute to my time with Mark III and Mark IV. And as you know, we have two new snakes who are just bringing a fabulous new, fresh approach for all of us, so it really is resonating within the collective with Joel Hoekstra, of course, an old friend of yours, and a fabulous new talent out of Italy called Michele Lupi, who is a superb singer. He's our choir master. He has a day job. He's a voice coach.
Really?
Totally. I'm like, okay, you're busy. So he warms us up. My feeling is he's making us like some strange sounds, I said, look, we're not Celine Dion, we don't have to go quite that far. Total, and everyone's getting on wonderfully. It really is a very special time.
Yeah, I was going to ask you how Joel was working out, because, of course, he filled those very big shoes of Doug Aldrich as the newest snake on guitar. And
somebody said that those were enormous shoes, and quite rightly, Doug's extraordinarily talented. And the reviewer said not only did he fill the shoes, but he did the moonwalk in them.
Yeah, well, I know Joel's a monster, so I'm glad that he's working out so well.
We started when I worked with you and the boys on that metal show. We did the Incendiary. That word has taken on a life of its own to the Twitchbird. Incendiary, whatever.
As only you can say it.
He's very gifted. And nothing to it. He texted me this morning. He bumped into Paris Hilton, go figure, and he met her before. You go, what the hell's Paris doing in Milwaukee? But he met her before at Walker ages, in New York.
There must be some sort of nightclub there.
Very welcome guy. Very, very welcome. Did you hear what happened in the LA show?
Our friend Mr. Hughes came out, right?
Oh, the Bluebird, the Soul Brother. I swear to God, we sang "You Keep on Moving" for the first time in over 40 years. And Lay Down, Stay Down. Oh my God, it was just amazing for both of us. We were texting like for days afterwards about how it was spiritual to us. It was but of course as you know, we're dear friends. We communicate all the time. But this was working together, singing. Certainly, "You Keep on Moving" that we wrote together a lifetime ago, and we're still here and still sharing a microphone. It was amazing. It was truly memorable.
How did it come about? How did it come about, David? Did you call him, or did you?
No, it wasn't quite as stimulating as No Panties Day in Dallas. That was. It would have to bring a tear to an old man's eye.
Wait, you have to tell. What is that? Wait a minute. What is that?
Well, I don't know. It's International No Panties Day. Hopefully, gentlemen don't wear panties. So, fortunately, I was having no Y fronts thrown at me. But we've been getting quite a few nice bits and pieces thrown up, still warm. No, Glenn and I had a thought. He said, "Do you want me to come down?" I said, "I'd like nothing better." And I said, when he came in, I was in the band's dressing room, and I said, "Listen," I said, "Glenn's coming down. I'm going to invite him to perform." And of course, they were all thrilled, all huge fans. Glenn came in, introduced him to the guys and stuff, and we just jammed a little bit because, of course, I've messed around with the arrangements from the originals, and it was great, and I couldn't wait to bring him on, and then wanted to keep him on. Yeah, it was glorious, and once again, people have lit up the internet with it. It was glorious.
Yeah,
so we'll see if Richie turns up in Westbury.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
that would be rolling out the purple carpet if he was up for it.
Yeah, that would be quite amazing if that were indeed to happen. And I guess now maybe that inspired Glenn, because I heard Glenn is going to go out with Doug and do some shows.
He's going out with Doug. Oh man, that'd be fun. I'm not sure who's on drums, but the pair of them, they'll get on great, and musically and socially. Two exceptional talents and two people I adore.
Maybe I sniff out. Maybe I'm dreaming here, but I sniff out some sort of bill somewhere down the line where you break up some of the Deep Purple material and you get out there together.
Maybe. Who knows? Never say never, as Mr. Connery would say.
Tell me, I'm looking forward to seeing this show, and I'm finally going to see it on August 5th at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Beautiful Hollywood, Florida. It's going to be great. Can't wait to see everybody there. And tell me about the shows, because people have told me that have seen it, that they've really enjoyed it. What is the balance of material of the new record versus the Whitesnake stuff?
It's about 50-50, and so we've just done a couple of open air shows and stuff. Well, one was in Colorado, and I swear to God bless them legalizing it, because I got a true Rocky Mountain high. I left the stage and I'm going, I just want to eat something. It was wonderful. But yeah, we're doing about 50-50. As I say, and I salute my musicians because they're selling it beautifully. Like half the shows to a lot of people is new material.
Right.
But, they're being extraordinarily gracious and hospitable and generous with their appreciation. The tour is going better than I really imagined. All of us, every night slapping each other, high-fiving or whatever, and just amazed at how well things are going. It truly is a blessing.
And speaking of rock and roll keeping people young, you've got a drummer in this band that is just still mind-blowing, and however many decades he's been in with Tommy. I mean, it's got to be remarkable.
If I need an inspiration, I turn around and watch him, man. This driving, relentless. He is jaw-droppingly brilliant every night, absolutely consistent, and I'm so honored. I text him every night going, I'm so honored to share the stage with you. Yeah, and it's true. He is just breathtaking. And talking about drummers, I mean, where could I go? Remember, you and I would speak about it. Where the hell could I go after Tishy, a total monster on the drums?
Yeah.
And I went back to Tommy, you want to come out and play? And talking about that, we're going to have Tishy and Marco joining us on some American shows that opened up for the opening band with the Dead Daisies.
Oh, okay.
So that's going to be lots of farts and giggles there. It's going to be more snakes in the house. Look out, baby.
Wow, the white snake.
Yeah, Tommy, breathtaking. Tommy, he's worth the price of admission alone.
The white snake family tree reaches into many tentacles out there, doesn't it?
Yes, testicles.
The testicles, too.
Thank God it's Auntie's Day.
How are you feeling, man? How are the pipes?
You know what? Stick a plug up my arse. I can light up a decent-sized community. Everything's grand. I couldn't ask for more. I'm in such gratitude. Look in the dictionary under gratitude. There's a big grinning picture of me.
Well, everybody can find out if there's a Whitesnake date near them that hasn't happened yet by going to whitesnake.com. I know you're going through Florida with a number of shows, and again, I want to make sure everybody. I'm actually giving some tickets away. If you go to my website, you can enter to win tickets if you want to come out and hang with me and see Whitesnake at the Seminole Hard Rock.
We've got an amazing act with us. Dear friends of mine, one of my favorite bands, The Answer. They've joined us and are kicking serious ass. It's an action-packed show, with The Answer and Whitesnake. Well worth getting off your ass and putting your cell phone down for a few.
Yeah, I like those guys. I like their latest record. I haven't seen them live.
I love them. Are you kidding me? Years ago, when I would tour the UK, I'd call up the magazine we discussed earlier and say who won the best new rock act, and then invite them out. And that's when I first met The Answer, and I continue to adore them, and they play amazing. It's a great band. So we're thrilled we got those guys out here. The other thing, by the way, if anyone's curious, if you go to whitesnake.com, every week we're putting out 2 selections of videos. One video will be called Purple Memories. It's me reflecting on my time with Deep Purple. And then the other videos are track by track discussing songs and stuff. And for instance, just turning around and saying it was amazing for me that I sat next to the extraordinary Richie Blackmore when he was doing his solo for the original Burn, and then I'm sat between Joel and Rev while they're doing theirs over 40 years later. Stuff like that. So, it's well worth having a look at some of the videos if you want some of the background to the album and to my time with Mark 3 and 4.
Yeah, I think that's been a really important and very cool thing, the way you've presented this record. I have the special edition of it. There's a bonus DVD. Even as you were making it, you talked about your history, what it meant to you to revisit this stuff, your memories of when you first did it. I thought that was very, very cool how you really...
Well, I think one of the things now to try to inspire people to actually, get the hard copy of the CD is just as much content as possible.
Yep.
Don't forget, I'm from the generation of you got 20 minutes aside of vinyl. With Purple, that was what, 3 songs?
Yeah, at times maybe less.
Mistreated on one side. But now it's people are so easily distracted by the no-brainer aspect of just listening to streamers. And of course that doesn't support your bands. But so what we try to do is give as much quality and content as possible. And the DVD, I love the DVD. Everybody contributed, as you said, behind the scenes. Everybody gets, the same screen time and talks about their feelings. And you have the 4 Whitesnake videos we made to support the Purple album. So yeah, the DVD is real cool.
And I know when you get over to Europe, you're teaming up with Def Leppard, right?
Man alive, yeah. I had both the promoter and the agent emailing me this morning, thrilled. Wembley's a big show to sell, and that's gone clean. The tours, Leopards and I it's a pretty irresistible package. And we've added a group called Black Star Riders, which of course is the surviving members of Thin Lizzy. And once again, Marco Mendoza, Signor Marco Mendoza. He's in the Black StarRiders.
No. I hate to correct you, but he isn't anymore.
Oh, he's not?
No,
oh,
Robbie Crane.
I thought I might be getting Marco, sick of Marco.
No, Robbie Crane is the bass player in that band now.
Oh, okay. Well, of course, I defer to you, Mr. WikiLeaks, you know.
I'm just trying to help you out, just so you know.
No, absolutely. I thought he was there. But yeah, so it's a great package. Joe and I, as you know, are great mates. Phil Collin asked me, funnily enough, last year while I was under wraps doing the Purple album, as you were party to that, but I didn't tell anybody, you know. And Phil was doing a blues album, asked me if I could do Mistreated, and I'm going, so I can't, you know, I can't tell you why, as close as we are. So I suggested this old soul song called Private Number, which was originally done by two beautiful singers, William Bell and Judy Clay. And Phil has a fabulous solo project called Delta Deep.
Yep.
And I sing with his beautiful singer, Debbie, and it's a great record, and currently number 2 on the blues albums of iTunes. So go, Phil.
Yeah, that's awesome. Phil has a couple side things.
You know, Joe and I were speaking this morning about the sadness of losing Chris Squire.
Yep.
Of course, which I go back further with Chris. You know, apart from the fact I was a huge fan at the very beginning of Yes, you know, when they had Pete Banks and Bill Bruford on drums, Pete Banks on guitar, and that's when I met them. They played locally, and I got to talk with John Anderson and stuff, and became a lifelong fan. So that's a huge loss. But as you say, the Leps and the Snakes, irresistible package. You know, great mates and great band. You know, 2 great bands.
And Black Star Riders, a phenomenal band, and
totally,
that's a great 3 package.
But yeah, it takes us right up to Christmas in the UK, and then my family's joining me in London, and then we're going to fly off for Christmas in Munich with my daughter Jessica and 2 gorgeous granddaughters, Georgina and Matilda.
Wow, amazing. Hey, you know, before I let you go, you mentioned about Chris Squire and Yes, and it's maddening to me because I've been going off about this much in the same way when John Lord passed away, the same thing. It is mind-blowing and incomprehensible to any self-respecting rock fan that both Deep Purple and Yes were not inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame the very first year they were eligible. It is beyond disgraceful.
Who cares?
But here's why it matters, David. John Lord is now not around when that day comes, and now Chris Squire is not around the day that they get their heads out of their ass and put Yes in. It just sucks.
I know what you're saying, but really it's the reward and the awards that we continue to get, you know, the most loyal, incredibly loyal fans I think I've ever seen are the people who support Deep Purple and the bands, all the spin-off bands from that time. You know, it's breathtaking to me, and I'm hoping actually that I get to the Westbury early enough, because either Purple or the night before us, or 2 nights, which would be heartbreaking to miss them, because I'd love to see them, because I haven't seen any of those guys since the loss of John. But I get what you're saying there, but me, you know, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, you can only be ignored so many times without turning around and picking a finger, you know.
Yeah, I hear you totally. Well, listen, man, it's great to talk to you, and congrats on the success of the record.
Oh, man. So, anytime, my brother. My love to you and the guys and stuff, and your listeners, and once again, Edward, you're very special, and your support is always appreciated.
Well, thank you, man, and I look forward to seeing you in now just a few weeks, August 5th, at the Seminole Hard Rock in Hollywood, Florida. And for anybody else listening not in that area, go to whitesnake.com, look for the remaining dates here in the U.S. before David and the guys head out of the country for more dates.
Don't forget, by the way, it will be Panties Day when you see me next time.
Wait a minute. Will we have hold on. Let me get this straight. Will it be panties on or off in Florida?
Oh, it may be panties on, dear boy. When you and I are around, you kidding me?
But
reinforced panties.
But in Florida, in the heat, we may want the women to be panties off.
You know what? I judged a beauty contest in Hollywood, Florida one time, and everybody won. It's very exciting to get down there and see those rather remarkably sculpted bods.
All right.
There's a deer to an old snake's eye. It does, so it does. Says with Trunk, so it does.
Give me
All right, brother. You take care of yourself.
Hey, give me a song from the Purple album you want me to play to let you go. What do you think?
Oh, have you already Mistreated? That's going over amazing. Revs, abs, the band are playing it great.
I'm so glad that you put this on the record, and I'm so glad you're doing it live. It's one of the epics from your history, so we'll do Mistreated for sure.
You got it, darling. Cheers, Edward.
Take care.
More, mate.
Love you too, man. Take care, David. We'll see you soon.
You got it.
Bye-bye. There he goes. The charming David Coverdale. Always wonderful to talk to DC, and I look forward to seeing him. Always a great laugh, always a great time. And nothing but great reviews from these live shows that David is doing with Whitesnake here in America, which I'm very happy to hear and see. Because as I've said many times, you never know when it comes to the history of Purple in America. It's very different than it is in Europe. There's a very different level of acceptance for this music and the great music that Deep Purple gave us. There's a different level of reverence for it outside of the U.S. So I think it's very cool that David is, in a lot of ways, introducing this music to people who have maybe never heard it before through Whitesnake. And then if you're like me and you know it, it's great to hear with this revved up band playing it, because here's the other side of it. Deep Purple doesn't play any of it, the current version of Deep Purple. So it's kind of the same thing with Sammy Hagar and his Van Halen stuff. The only way you're going to hear it is with David and Whitesnake doing it. Thanks to David Coverdale for checking in and some time there. Again, whitesnake.com is the site to find out dates.